I'm cold. The goal of today is to stay warm. What's up, everybody? This is VJ Hunt from Hunt Family Farm, and today we're gonna feed our animals in the coldest day of the year. The wind done blew down. Look at the damage. It done blew down the fence. So they're eating cotton, like the cotton that you would have like at like cotton balls. So that right there is just a byproduct of like cotton, refining cotton. So when woohoo, this is them. So gotta go on this side. Hold on. It's good because it's something like it's like a hearty meal. Like they eat it and they fill up on it. So it's very important in the wintertime and the colder months that they're constantly eating and they're getting like a lot of calories. You don't so much worry about, you want them to be full and eating because that's how they stay warm. It's a carbohydrate, so it'll help them pack on some extra pounds, which they're gonna need because it's freezing in North Carolina. Oh! He tripped up. Yeah, everything out of here. But I took the heat lamps to put in the other rooms. Had to take the heat lamps out and put them in the chicken house so that they don't freeze tonight. It's crazy how like when they're young, they have to be at a certain temperature. So in the summertime, we have to put the heat lamps in here. But in the wintertime, our fully grown chickens have to have heat lamps in there. It's cold. Oh God. So our freezer room, and it's sort of like a storage room too. So here are all of our freezers with all of our meats. After our honey is processed and spun, we store it in these bags. So we have to keep a heater in here. We got to keep a heater in here to make sure the honey stays warm. So we spin it, it's stored in these buckets, and then we bottle it we break it up and bottle it. So those are all our coolers for like when we take our stuff to like the farmer's market and different places to sell. But it's just foul play poultry and Hunt Family Farms meats. And so on the coldest day of the year of 2022, I had to pull out my Carhartt coveralls. They're lined with fur to keep you warm. I have on two, not one, but two hoodies. I have on some sweats, Nike sweats under here. And I got my Crocs, but it's the ones with the fur in them. Old Crocs, my favorite shoe to wear. But that's the way you gotta try to attempt to stay warm. Like my midsection is pretty warm. I did forget to put on gloves today, which is a big no-no, especially in these temperatures because you don't wanna touch anything. So I have to tuck my hands inside where they stay warm. Oh, and how could I forget? 104. Hunt Family Farm headgear, merch coming soon. Let me know what you think, how you like the logo, a little something that put together. So if you're enjoying the video so far, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let's get back into it. We're gonna feed really quickly. They have a bale of hay that they've been eating on, but it's just so cold out here. So potatoes, we gotta get rid of them. We got a lot of them. So we're just gonna feed them potatoes. It's a good carb. Just gonna give them as many as I can. They may or may not want them because they do have hay. So it's important, even on the coldest day, it's not a day off for farmers. You have to make sure that they eat. That's the way that they're gonna survive, is by eating and having shelter. So the good thing about the sheep, they can go in the building where they're away from the wind. The donkeys can go down into their barn, so they're fine. They have hay, they have potatoes now, and I'm gonna throw some more out here. I'm gonna pull from here. I'm gonna throw the donkeys a few, and then I'm gonna try to get warm. God. Dang it. Dropped it right in the mud. Yeah, she pooped. So if you look at the difference, like this is the difference that a male makes, like having a good male. So this lamb right here was born a month and a half ago, right? Him. And he was born a month and a half ago. That one right there that's on that potato was born last year. So they have different fathers. So they almost, the difference is the male in genetics. And so that's why like it was such a big thing last year when we had the paternity war, because we don't have, the ones that were bred to that last male are very still small, not growing as fast. All right, I'm gonna get a bucket of grain for the little ones. Boy, my hands are frozen. Golly, girl, you're skinny. Oh my God, this is on straight ice. Frozen. Oh. Want to be a farmer? Sure? Sure you want to farm? Gotta ask yourself. This right here is probably the hardest part about farming. This is the part that you really don't see. I know it's a fun life, and don't get me wrong, but it's the days like today that really make it tough because you can't be selfish. So you like really have to think about the wellness of your animals, because I would much rather be in a warm place. But because we have a decent setup, our animals are pretty good, and they have plenty of food. All of them are munching on potatoes or grain or hay, so they'll be fine. But this is not the cool part of the year. This is definitely not a cool part of the year. God. All right. She's about to have a lamb. She's so pregnant. Oh my God, I hope she don't have it tonight. Watch, she's gonna have it tonight. She's gonna have wait till the coldest day of the year to have her lamb. So I know you're probably wondering what we feed our sheep. So one thing about sheep, they have a really high metabolism, so they constantly eat. And so we typically have, when I feed them in terms of like grain and things like that, I usually do that during the winter months because it's high in carbohydrates, it's a higher protein, and they're not able to get the same protein that they would get from the grasses. So we supplement with that. But I usually try to do a cup, maybe 2 cups per animal, just of grain. Now we always leave them like hay to forage on just whenever they want. Potatoes, I try to throw enough potatoes out there for each animal to have too. I mean, potatoes vary in sizes, and they're not like a super expensive thing, so I try to feed them as many potatoes as I possibly can. Now that the fact that they're lactating, like if you look at her, I said it in a previous video, they're a little bit thinner because they are producing milk for a thriving baby. So the babies are taking a lot of their nutrients. So they're not gonna retain their weight as well. But I think you try to overfeed them during this time of the year, just for one, so they can stay warm, but also because they are nursing. And typically we try to feed them at least, well, we're gonna feed them once a day, but we try to do it at least twice a day. My dad normally does it in the morning, and then I'll come back in the afternoon. And usually, you know, he'll throw out like some leafy greens, as you can see all of the boxes that we have here. He usually does that in the morning. They'll snack on the hay, and he'll throw a few potatoes out. And then when I come in the afternoon, I usually give them grain and then throw some more potatoes. And so that's just kind of what we feed our sheep. So all of our animals are fed. It's cold as out on wet. It's time for me to warm out. So peace out.